Welcome to Act 3 of Extra Time. Can someone please get a George W? Here at Extra Time, we've grown tired of all the draws. Late equalizers are exciting, I'll grant you, but we'd much rather see someone grab the game by the you-know-whats and take the full 3 points. So Shep, let's look at some of these weekends. Is anybody going to take the full Monty this time?
Well, Greg, let's go to penalty kicks if the games are tied.
No penalty kicks, no more of those shootouts either. We'll start with Real Salt Lake's visit to the nation's capital to face DC United. It's a tough one for RSL. They just have 2 goals in their last 4 games, 3 losses and a draw over that same span, and RSL haven't scored on the road at all. Do they have any chance at RFK?
Well, Jason Kreis really has to get his team motivated. Maybe that consolation for him, the light at the end of the tunnel, is looking the goal for DC United. Creighton again against Chivas in the second goal. I mean, he's trying to catch butterflies.
You're really just not a fan of Lewis Creighton, are you?
Well, none of the goalkeepers at DC United. They bring in Marcus Hanneman. Maybe they go to MLS Cup Final.
Well, Real Salt Lake has their own goalkeeping issue right now. I mean, Kyle REYNISH now the 3rd string goalkeeper with Chris Seitz getting hurt. REYNISH is probably going to get the start, right? So that's something for them.
Yeah, their problem going forward into the attacking third, I think Morales really has to demand the ball. Movsisian has to start finding a way to score goals.
Well, with Luciano Emilio playing well, it could be a really high-scoring game. Out on the West Coast, Chivas USA is still marauding through the Western Conference, and they get Sasha Kleshtin back for their visit to Kansas City this weekend. Obviously, it's a huge difference in the midfield, but the Wizards boast a game changer of their own right now, JOSH WOLFF. I don't know what's really happened to JOSH WOLFF. He's been rejuvenated. He's tied for the lead right now in the race for the Golden Boot with 6 goals on the season.
I'm really starting to like Kansas City. For me, they were a little bit under the radar screen.
And they've always been doing a lot of this for the last year or so.
For me, they just didn't have that go-to guy who could score goals. And JOSH WOLFF, I've always really liked him as a player, but I think injuries have always been a factor for JOSH WOLFF. He looks healthy, he looks fit, he looks motivated, and he's scoring terrific goals.
Well, Chivas gets a striker of their own back, Michael Galindo, who scored just last weekend, so that should be big for them. Chivas did concede 2 goals last week, but they're still the tightest defense in MLS. The Galaxy might actually get a win this weekend thanks to the scheduling gods. LA goes to FC Dallas, who have struggled mightily all season long. The last 2 times LA played at Pizza Hut Park, they were goal-a-paloozas. The first one ended 5-1 for Los Angeles. The second one, 4-0 for Dallas. Are we going to see something similar?
Greg, I don't think so. Nothing these teams have done this season have shown they have the ability to score 4 or 5 goals.
Well, you still have LANDON DONOVAN and Kenny Cooper, 2 of the most prolific strikers in this league.
If I'm the LA Galaxy, I like the way I've been playing, but I'm a little nervous about playing a team like Dallas that is desperate for a win, so it could be a very good game.
Well, the Galaxy have gone a good stretch without losing a game, so they might have a good chance too. Finally, it's Chicago at New York. The Fire are still undefeated on the season, which is incredible to me actually. And this game doesn't really look set to upend that. The Red Bulls are without the suspended Jorge Rojas and the injured Carlos Johnson. Even more important, you know, they looked okay this past weekend, but not great.
Greg, I think this could be the best game of the weekend. I really do, because Chicago, I think, has finally kicked it in another gear. That's a great win.
They got the win at Toronto.
Great win at Toronto. And Blanco, I think, is always motivated when he comes into a big market.
That's true.
Whether it's LA or New York or where he plays in Chicago. For Red Bull, I think they'll be motivated as well.
Is Juan Pablo Angel going to explode finally?
Look, I have to think Juan Pablo Angel is hurt and not telling anybody, because he has not been the same player. Yes, you need service. Yes, you need players running off the ball. Yes, you need somebody to link up with, but he's got Kanji now. He's got a team with Saladas deep in the midfield that's spraying the ball around. So Juan Pablo Angel, I don't worry about him. It's the other guys, how they approach the game against Chicago.
It's about time for Angel to explode, and a couple of big names in this one, Juan Pablo Angel and Cuauhtemoc Blanco. That's all we have for you this week on Extra Time. You can always email us at extratime@mlsnet.com. Join us next week and we'll kick it around.